The cognitive load theory is a theory which aims to understand how the cognitive load produced by learning tasks can impede students' ability to process new information and create long-term memories. Cognitive load is typically increased when there's unnecessary demands imposed on the learner, making the task of processing information overly complex. When cognitive load is managed well, students are able to learn new skills easier than when the load interferes with the creation of new memories. One of the three types of cognitive loads is extraneous. The extraneous cognitive load is produced by the demands imposed by the teacher or the instructions that they are asked to follow. It misdirects students with distracting information, or it makes a task more complex than it needs to be. An effective presentation method can help reduce the loads imposed on the learner, and then that allows the learner more freedom to rehearse and remember a lesson. Just to give an example, I remember a class that I taught one time, and we were discussing the phases of the moon. I could have just used the textbook and had the students to read about the different phases of the moon and look at the pictures, but it was easier. It would be easier for them to comprehend if they had something visually to look at. So we actually used Oreo cookies. We laid them in a circle. We tore off the pieces of the cookie as we went through the stages of the moon and just left that one piece on the top. And then after that was completed, then they all, looking at that visual, drew their own pictures of the phases of the moon. And then instead of going and reading the whole textbook, which would have probably caused that load, that extraneous load, they just used the textbook to label the pictures that they drew. So that is how that they were able to not be overloaded with information.